A lot of people talk about meditation today and they kind of sit there. I just came back from the Himalayas with Grandmaster, and he was saying how most people think that they are meditating, but they're purely just sitting there, like literally closing their eyes. Most people actually today, they do it for the trend, right? It's kind of like a trendy thing to do all these different types of Kundalini meditation and all this, what else, like visualization and all of these things they call meditation. But what actually is meditation? I want to break it all down for you in this video. But before we get into it, show reel, hit it. What's up guys, it's Eric Ho here, and in this video I want to break down for you what is meditation and why is it that most people actually have it totally wrong. So if we take a seat and then we'll get into it and I'll explain to you exactly what meditation is all about. So first off, when it comes to meditation, what a lot of people now into the trend, there's so many different types, different modalities. There's guided meditation, there's a visualization, there's hypnosis, there's affirmations, and they call all of these things meditations these days. But when I was actually out in the mountains this time with the real yogis who are actually there in the caves, like meditating for like 12 or even 20 plus years, and then they transcend out of their bodies and then connect to the divine. Like these guys, I think they know what meditation is about. But it's so interesting how commercial meditation has become today. So what is meditation, and are all of these other forms actually useful? Do they make any sense? Is there any point in practicing it all? Well, first of all, to understand that meditation is about nothingness. What does that mean? Like no thing. Meaning your mind at that moment clears everything and thinks about nothing. Now, the biggest thing is this: when you're visualizing, when you're saying affirmations, for example, I am, or I love myself, or I am financially free, you know, whatever you're saying, you are focusing. It's the opposite to meditation. So how do we actually understand it? And are all of these other types of meditation, what they call meditation, useful to us? It is useful, but for a total different thing. A lot of people use what they call meditation to get rid of stress today. But in actual fact, if you go back to what meditation actually is, when you're trying to think about nothing and you are most stressed, it's virtually impossible to get into nothingness. So it's your worst time to get into that meditative state. In fact, right now, the world looks at meditation as a process for an outcome. But in actual fact, meditation is the outcome, not the process. Okay, I'll repeat that again. Meditation is the outcome, not the process. A lot of people use meditation to try and de-stress. But in fact, if you understand meditation, it's the outcome. It's something, if you get there, that place of bliss and connection with the divine is absolutely amazing. So how do we actually practice meditation? And when should we practice it? You practice it when your mind is most calm, when you are most at peace. You use other buttons and switches to be able to calm the mind. Once you've calmed the mind, then you practice meditation. So what we're going to do together today, just a very short session, is to sit together, right? And you can just sit with your legs crossed, nice and simple. And then we don't need to go too much into all the different mudras today, because in actual fact, if you go through all the mudras, right, understanding from what is water, right, what is earth, what is all of these things, what is fire, it's very technical, and there's a science behind all of this. And in actual fact, if you touch the tip of your hands to when you touch the bottom is a total different effect to what you're doing. So all of these have different uses. For example, if you have a temperature, you can get rid of a temperature instantly, right? If you have breathing problems, you can get rid of breathing problems instantly using these things. So they all have their use. But right now, we want to keep it plain and simple. Meditation. If in meditation, maybe just keep your hands in receiving mode, meaning palms facing up. Spine, keep comfortably erect, right? This is your channel. If we always understand the spine from what we call the base chakra down at the bottom, all the way up the spine, right, to the top towards the crown chakra, see this as your channel from the earth towards the rest of the universe, right? So to connect to the divine, this is your channel. So make sure this spine is comfortably erect. I say comfortable is because if you're like this and you're really, really stiff, you're thinking about your back, then you won't be able to get into nothingness. Now what you do is just sit, spine comfortably erect, palms facing up. Let's not talk about all these mudras right now, just palms facing up, just gently like this, in receiving mode. Now what you need to do is very simple. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and out. In and out. When you are doing all of this, make sure to take deep breaths in and out. Slow, gentle, deep breaths, and keep breathing. And when you're breathing, make sure it's the abdominal breathing, okay? You're breathing into the stomach. So just keep breathing. And through your nose, people ask, through your nose or through your mouth? Just breathe through your nose, gently. And while you're breathing, what will naturally happen is your senses will connect to things and start a dialogue. If I say close your eyes, think about nothing, it's likely that you're going to think about something. Do not try to think about nothing, because when you do, you'll think about something. It's like if I say, don't think of the purple elephant. You've got the purple elephant going on in your head, right? And it'll continue to go on in your head. So don't try to not think about anything. Instead, what you want to do is practice. Now, this is the key here. Practice witnessing. What does that mean? Why does your mind become cluttered? It only becomes cluttered when different dialogue starts. And dialogue only starts from your sensory. So for example, you can close your eyes, you're like, okay, don't think about anything. And you're like, oh, the light, maybe if I turned it off, it would have been better. Light, you're sensing light. That's why you start dialogue. The next thing is, oh, car door closes. Maybe somebody's outside. Has somebody arrived? You sense, you hear something, you feel cold, you feel warm, you feel the sun rising. All of these senses kicks off a dialogue. So how do we practice meditation and getting into nothingness? Very simple. You practice witnessing. Witness sound, allow it to pass. Car door, allow it to pass. Movement, allow it to pass. Without asking, what is the movement? Who is the movement? Because the moment we allow the sequence to kick off, we're going to go on forever, right? Our mind is very, very powerful like that. It keeps connecting. So instead, just witness. And as a rule of thumb for beginners getting into meditation, what I recommend you is just practice 1 minute, 2 minutes a day. Don't go over the top trying to get into 10-minute, half-an-hour meditation. Why? Because then it will counter, it will do the opposite. You will get so frustrated and annoyed that you're not doing it right, and you're like, oh, I'm still thinking about something, oh, I'm starting dialogue. Then you get frustrated, and it does the opposite to meditation. So start small, work your way up from 30 seconds to a minute, and you can practice it throughout the day. It doesn't just have to be in the morning. Even if you're sitting on the train, even if you're sitting at work, okay, maybe not when the boss is around, yeah? But then maybe whenever you're doing different things, just practice, just breathing, and allow your sensory just to witness everything that's passing by. And what will happen is you will get, through days and through months, more and more things can pass by, And then you'll be able to allow them to pass by one, and actually witness. And when you get into that part of peace, which is the connectivity point to the divine, to the universe, what will actually happen is you will get to that point where you get to oneness with the divine. That place of bliss where you see everything. But do not hold that expectation to wanting to get there. Because if you do, with that expectation, you will keep getting disappointment. So instead, just focus on nothingness, that's all. Just focus on witnessing, practice. And some of you, it may even take months, it may even take years. Some of you may even take decades to actually finally get into that place of bliss. But when you do, you will start understanding and you start witnessing enlightenment and actually this whole out of body experience where you shift your consciousness once and for all. Guys, if this video has been of any use to you whatsoever in your understanding about meditation, please do hit the thumbs up. Also, comment below. Let us know where you guys have tuned in from. It's always nice to know. And finally, if you're new to this channel, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notifications button next to it. Because this year, I'm dedicated to making daily videos to hold you accountable to make it your best year yet. But for now, guys, namaste.